how amazing was Guy? It was absolutely fantastic to have him on here. Remember that PR and media is extremely important for everybody, every professional, every business. So if you are a local business in town and you want to connect with him, he would be a great person, obviously very personable, cares about you, cares about why you're doing what you're doing, and wants to relay that story so the rest of the world can see that. Now, we are on to the next part of our segment, which is our next guest. Now, this is going to cover the whole performance and entertainment side of Las Vegas, which is what we are known for, especially live entertainment. Now, there's lots of different options for you to go see in Las Vegas, coming from like theater, cirque shows, but we are going to focus on the world of burlesque. Now, she has been doing burlesque for probably over a decade. She's also a producer, and she has a lot of background in theater. So everyone, please welcome Lily Starr. Hi, it's a pleasure meeting you. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you.
I love the leopard. I'm loving the fur, everything that's going on. Absolutely fantastic.
It's very burlesque.
It's very burlesque. It's very theater. It's all about the stage, which I absolutely love.
Thank you.
So let's get into you. I know Lily Starr is your stage name,
Correct.
and you are very prominent on the stage. Like this is what you've been doing for some time. So give us a
Yeah.
little background on how you got started with theater and stage work in general.
Okay, theater and stage work. Oh, Lord, just dance classes as a kid in my mom's friend's attic. And then we did, the high school theater stuff and just kind of kept going with that. Did dance in college, not as my degree or a minor, but as it might as well have been a minor.
Mm-hmm.
And I studied biology instead. And the science
The
mind.
science.
Yeah, so and then I kind of went by the wayside for a little bit, and one day when I still lived back in Pennsylvania, I was like, I'm going to go dance in this talent show as an adult,
Mm-hmm.
and little theater thing, and then I decided I'm going to Vegas, and so then I moved to Vegas, not just, I was in this talent show, let me move to Vegas. There's multiple reasons for that. And then when I came here, I fell into a lot of the theater groups.
Mm-hmm.
And through the theater group, met a girl who was doing burlesque, who was hosting burlesque. And she's like, you need to come see my show. Well, it wasn't her show. I have to give credit where credit's due. It was Cha Cha Velour's show, but Blanche was the host.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started going for like a year, and I was like, I really want to do this. And then I started teaching at the Las Vegas Burlesque Studio that Cha Cha had back then, a weekly burlesque jazz class, and then just started performing, and that was that.
That's amazing.
Kept going. So that's like the quickest, shortest version from 8 years old till now.
And so you moved
50
from
years.
where again? Where did you move?
Western Pennsylvania.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're an East Coast person, and
Yeah.
so you came over here, and so I love hearing that because a lot of people come out to Vegas and they hope it works out, or they come out with the dream, and it either does or it doesn't, and you're someone
Yeah.
where it literally went like this, and
Yeah.
you literally found your
Yeah.
calling,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. And I got to do a few like fancy kind of strip things, but never in a show. It's tough. You come out here and there's literally 100 girls vying for like maybe one or two positions, and you have to hope that not only do you dance well, but that the producer likes your look,
Mm-hmm.
And then I actually kind of even just quit going to the auditions because I got so busy doing theater, and that was that, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
The only good thing that I wish would have happened about being in like one of the strip shows regularly would have been how easy it would have been to stay in shape. Because when you're dancing every day,
Yeah.
you don't have to do anything else.
Yeah, literally, and then you have the confidence as well,
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
So what screamed to you about burlesque? Like, why that in particular that really drew you in to even teach it?
It was the theater of it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. It's like old Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's the glamour. It's
Yeah.
the old style of dancing and moving that's so classy and sexy. And especially when I first started going to shows like a decade or more ago, that was very prominent. And people were doing theatrical acts, like, little sailor girl with a little boat on the side and whatever. So it's literally just like a solo version of theater. So it just drew to me. I was like, and I've been a dancer my whole life,
Yeah.
wearing skimpy clothes my whole life. So I was like,
Right.
the next step was not that big of a trauma.
Yeah.
The difference that
Because burlesque
do.
is all about, dramatizing, acting out. It's not just about what people would think of as like a striptease, right?
Exactly. Well, especially from my knowledge, because this started way before me, of the neo-burlesque movement, it became less of what we consider classic burlesque, and people started doing more, incorporating performance art into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that happened even before the 80s. Certain people did this. There's such a history of it. It's ridiculous how much you could look into. But yes, there's comedy, there's poignant, there's, you never know when you go to a burlesque show what emotions you're going to get from what you see on the stage.
Yes.
It can just be sexy, classic, let me play with my boa, or it can literally be something that just brings you to tears, or takes your breath away, or just cracks you up. And so it's pretty encompassing, which is why I think so many people find it interesting, and I wish so many more people out there who don't understand burlesque and have a concept of it would actually go to a show, because it's not at all what I believe most people who have never been there think it is.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to get
Yeah.
you explain to the audience what you're
Yeah.
meaning, because you've been doing it for so time. You've also taught.
Yes.
Right. And so there's obviously the movie that everyone knows about with Cher, and they're sitting
And that's
there,
like
but,
so not really what we
Yeah.
do in our world. It's like the movie really kind of brought the concept of burlesque to light, but that's still not really what you see at a burlesque show.
Mm-hmm.
And so again, even if people have seen the movie and they think they know, they still need to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's completely gender friendly, whatever, whoever, if you're a couple, you can go. If this isn't that's what they go and do, and it's not the old days.
Right.
It's not the old days of that's where typically the men go while the women are at home with the kids or something, or whatever that case may have been in decades ago. That's not the way it is anymore. Yeah, no, anybody can go and have a great time.
Do you see a lot of like the audiences, no matter what show you're doing, that people leave a little more liberated, inspired, more confident? Do you feel like you have an impact on your viewers?
I do. I think so many of us have seen so much that we don't think about that often, but I do know people who have said to me over the years, and I'm sure to lots of other people, and so many people have inspired me also that I have seen, that they're like, oh wow, I can do this, or I want to sign up for the classes, or just that eye-opening of, holy cow, I can do this. And my friend who is the one who told me come see the show, her big speech is about everybody needs to do this at least once. Because of how liberating and wow, I can do this, and just the feeling of it. She literally says that just about every time she hosts a show, that she believes that everybody should do it at least once.
Yeah.
No matter who you are. And the body you're in is the body that's right for you for burlesque.
Yes,
that's the other thing
very
she
inclusive.
says. She's so wonderful.
Yeah.
I love quoting her because, well, she's on stage speaking all the time, so you hear it. It's in your brain.
Yeah. I had other burlesque performers, only one other couple. And, they kind of went along the same things, like burlesque doesn't always have to be stripping down. And then also everyone should do it at least once, because it's something, even if you're uncomfortable, it's just after you do it, you're like, oh,
this is amazing. Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I think that was the experience she had. So she, she can speak from that experience, obviously. I mean, we've all had that experience, but some people are in different mind frames and mindsets and emotional places when they first go into it. So what you receive out of it after you do it the first time is going to be different for each person. Like I said, I've been, pretty much not clothed most of my life, dancing around. So for me to be not clothed in front of people was not as big of a deal as somebody who has never done that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Come even close, or been on a stage before,
Right.
or been in front of people, and then on top of that, you're taking your clothes
Yeah.
off. Like, it can be a really big deal for a lot of people.
And it's the performing aspect. A lot of
Yeah.
people are just like, what do you want me to do? Oh my God, everyone's staring at me.
Yeah.
Like, even when I did theater, like, I still had stage fright. It's different than, like, a camera or a couple people.
Right.
Like, and it's all, the settings are always, it's a lot.
And in burlesque, the settings are a lot more intimate than in theater lots of times, you know. So, you know, a lot of times you're on a stage and you've got all the lights and you can't even hardly see the audience. And you don't break the fourth wall, as we call it. You know, of course, you know what that means. But in burlesque, you do. And you're out there solo. And if you're not used to being out there solo, that's like, you know, a big deal. And so, it's really interesting. So even with all the experience that I had, people say to me, oh, how do you like doing burlesque? And I was like, you know, or what's it like to, I'm like, it's the hardest thing I've ever done. Because not only do you have to do all those things I just said, but you also have to take things off in an interesting, entertaining way.
It's not just,
and
all right,
not have it screw up. Which it always does anyway, okay? So you have to get used to, how do I make this zipper not working look sexy?
And then people are like, like, oh my god, why? And then the scarf gets out and you're like, wait, I swear I can do that.
I promise I can.
I promise.
It worked every other time.
Yeah. So you have produced a couple shows, and the main one we want to talk about today is, I know Speakeasy was one of them, and then you also do a show called Queer AF Burlesque, and that really highlights the LGBTQ plus community, which is, I really wanted to have some people represent that on the show, and we haven't yet, but this is, you know, you're doing a lot of representation alone because that's what your show is based on, and it's a lot of Vegas entertainment. You know, I have a lot of friends that do drag, live drag, they sing or they lip sync, or they do a bunch of things, and it's amazing to see the confidence that they have. And so tell us about what your goal was originally before Queer AF even premiered, because it's been going, it didn't just start, right?
We did it once before. Ronnie and I wanted to produce Pistol. Okay, that was the first thing, and we did the Speakeasy. And while in the process of trying to find a new venue for the Speakeasy show, because the first one closed, we came across another venue, and the venue wasn't quite right for the style of the Speakeasy show, and even though it was an amazing venue. So Ronnie came up with the idea. He had done that show named that before in his venue in Amarillo, and so he was like, "Well, what about this concept?" And they were like, "Oh my gosh, that would be amazing," you know. So we went down that road, and that's basically the organic of how it happened. Was, you know, here's a space, they want a show, but they want something that works for their venue, and so he you know, came up with that. And so I said, no, okay, let's do this. And how are we going to do this? And we called in a bunch of people from out of the state that we know that are LGBTQ plus, had them come in so that we could feature some people that people don't normally get to see on a regular basis, who are amazing, and did that show, and it was great. It was a great time. And so now it was time to find another new venue, and because that venue was not available to us anymore, and bring in a new crew. And so this time we decided, well, let's bring in people that we know, that a lot of the newer, younger people and the people that are in the scene who are going to shows all the time have not seen, who are amazing. And so like I taught at the studio. That's how I met Ronnie like 9 years ago. We walked into my dance class, and that's where we met. And we've been friends ever since. And one of the other instructors at that studio was Lulu Roxy. And Lulu moved away for a few years to Michigan. And so, you know, between the ever-evolving community here and COVID, where nobody was doing anything, she moved back. And so I feel like there's a lot of people out there that are in our scene that are newer people who weren't here when she was here. And they don't know her. And she is unreal. And so we have her, and Jacka Hartz is in our cast. He used to do a lot of stuff here. Haven't seen him in a few years, so he's back in our cast. And we just wanted to have a show that is fun, is welcoming, LGBTQ, anybody who is what everybody calls an ally, anybody who wants to be there is completely welcome. You don't have to be LGBTQ to come to our show and enjoy it. So anyway, that was our concept of putting
Yeah.
together Queer AF.
I love it.
And it was actually Maria, our producer, who came up with the AF part,
so that
we could,
it's
so that we
fitting.
could put it on Facebook and not get in trouble.
No, that's amazing though, because you're really highlighting a lot and blending a lot of communities together, and to know that it doesn't have to be segregated. Right,
No,
because a lot of
that's the
it,
point.
there's a lot of it that's segregated in the city between the clubs, the bars, the shows, the
Exactly.
performances on the stage. It has to be all or nothing.
Absolutely, and we don't want that. I mean, it's always bothered me. It bothered the legends back in the day, the people who've passed away. I was very close with Marinka, and she passed away 2 years ago at the age of 81, I believe. And she used to tell me, she's like, no, there was no this, there was no that. We just worked, we just performed.
Yeah.
It didn't matter who you were, what you were, where you were. You just performed. If you were good and you got booked, you performed. Yeah. And so the concept of the separation was completely foreign to her and a lot of the people from that era. And I understand it's hard because it's not my thing, so it's hard for me to speak to it. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I'm like, no, I love everybody. I want everybody to just be and enjoy and have a great time. And so with Pistol and myself, we're like, let's do this show where we can have this and that and this, and it doesn't matter. The act doesn't have to have anything to do with LGBTQ. You can be LGBTQ and be in the show, or not be LGBTQ and be in the show. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's a song that people love and it pumps them up, or whatever that you're doing. But we want it to be anybody can come, and anybody's welcome as long as they are in a positive mind of wanting to be there.
Yes, of course, and that's what it should be, because I know that recently, and I just went to his party on Sunday, Perez Hilton just moved back to town, so he's bringing a lot of the LGBT plus community together, and he's just kind of showcasing them and giving them opportunity to really just have fun and just express themselves, but it's still within a very segregated part, and the people that go are obviously like me, like straight allies that or get invited by them, but it's about in Vegas, you don't want to separate it because you want people to come in and also be open to those things, because they have their stigma on, it's a drag show, and it's a lot of fun. They shouldn't, as drag performers or as singers, like, cause some of them actually are really great singers, shouldn't just have to go to the gay bars every night and do it just for their people. They should be able to showcase their talent to everyone in Las Vegas, as much as a residency for whoever that people find popular. Right. And I think you're opening that platform for
That's
them.
what we want to try and do, because I completely agree with that. And with all the stuff that's going on in the world, and all the stuff about, drag and drag queens, and we can't, this isn't good. Yeah. I've always said a lot of the issues, most issues in the world get solved via education, and what I mean by that is not somebody come in and preaching to you and saying this is how it is, but it's by experience. Every experience you have is an education, and the more experiences you have that can open your eyes and say, oh wow, this is all this is, oh geez, I thought it was that, just like the burlesque show,
exactly.
Then
it all comes in
you
play.
totally understand that, oh wow, this isn't what I thought it was. And then that allows, like a word of mouth. So you're my friend, and I've experienced something, and I come up to you and I'm like, hey, oh gosh, no, that's not at all what it's like. And that's what helps. And so, I'm a really big proponent of this, not this.
Exactly, because I think they're going through a lot right now with certain laws in Tennessee,
and
it's just
I can't imagine how it would feel.
It's heartbreaking because that's their livelihood, and there's no reason why they should not continue to do that. Now, do you open auditions for your shows? And
we have not. Okay. No, we have not at this point, because we're just getting started, and we have so many people that we know we want to showcase. That will probably be something we will start down the road. Just send. We'll open up where you can send us. Audition tapes, or different concepts of your acts and what you do, so that we can keep flowing. But because we're doing each show quarterly, if we were doing it monthly, we'd probably be there by now. But because we're doing it quarterly, both Speakeasy and QAF, it's not like we're constantly needing a talent pool like every week or something. So we haven't reached that point yet, but I'm hoping and
Yeah.
assuming that we will down the road.
Yeah, I want the Las Vegas community to hear that, because that's another opportunity for them to shine. And since you're
absolutely.
You're integrating all of these different types of people, it's a great way for them to do that.
Absolutely.
So where can they go and check you guys out? Like, where are
Okay.
you guys playing? I know, is it Oddfellows?
It's at
My
Oddfellows.
favorite club. I go there for K-pop night
It's
once
so
a
much
month.
fun.
It's my favorite place.
It's a
Love
really
the
great
owners.
place.
Yes.
I actually performed there years ago when it was something else. Can't remember the name of it. And they had a comedy burlesque show that was in there for a while, and I actually performed there a long time ago. And so it's kind of fun to be back in there. But yes, Oddfellows. And it's actually at 6th and Ogden, even though it says it's 150 North Las Vegas
Yeah.
Boulevard, because the building kind of reaches
on the
over
corner
a whole
and it's-
block.
yeah.
So it's actually 6th and Ogden where it's located, and you can't really miss it, right on the
Yeah.
corner.
Across from El Cortez, if that's state
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So so that's where we are. Wednesday, March 22nd, so this next Wednesday in a week, the show starts at 9:15, and it's $20 if you buy tickets ahead of time, which I'll give you that in a second. It's $25 at the door, and the tickets are available on Purple Pass, and it's pretty easy. It's purplepass.com/QAFVOL2. So for volume 2. So QAF volume 2 on purplepass.com.
Amazing.
So you can search that, and there is an event, a Facebook event too, so you can search it through that, just Queer AF, and you'll find it. And we also have a page on Facebook that's Speakeasy 2022, because that was the year when we last did it, but it'll be 2023 when we finally get to do it again. So that'll be what
Yeah.
it's called, but the Facebook page is Speakeasy 2022, but it encompasses both shows and what's going on with those.
amazing.
So those are kind of all the places where you can reach us
That's
at this
great.
point. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that. And
Yeah.
there's one more question. Is
Sure.
there a philosophy in which you live?
Be entertaining.
I love asking these questions because it's a different answer and it sums up the person as a whole.
Yeah.
I mean, after everything we just heard, that makes it just that's Lily Star. Like, everyone,
Yeah,
be
exactly.
entertaining.
Be entertaining.
Don't be boring.
That's what I do that because even when I used to choreograph in high schools and theater and whatever, and I'm teaching the kids, and they would get to where they're just kind of being frumpy about what they're doing and not putting it out there. They would hear me yell from the audience, not just rehearsal, I'm the only one really there, and I would be going, "You're boring me, you're boring me." That
I
was my
love
way
it.
of letting them know, oh shoot, we need to put smiles on her face and get some energy going because
I
we're boring her.
love it.
And so it's just a silly thing that I would do because I'm always being a smart aleck. But
I love it.
but
Tough
yeah,
love is good.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
They gotta learn.
It's like don't be boring.
No.
You know.
And if you
It's
are, we're
like-
gonna tell you.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
They're gonna bore the audience. They're gonna fall asleep. You can't have
this
that.
might be interesting to you.
It's
It's not
not.
interesting to anybody out here.
I
It's
love
great.
it.
It's creative, but it's not entertaining because there's a fine line. You can be creative and not be entertaining. You know. So
Amazing.
So be entertaining.
Well, everyone, this is Lily Star. Right after the break, she is going to give you a little taste, a teaser of what to expect if you're going to go check out her show, Queer AF, at Oddfellows on March 22nd.
Yes.
Thank you so much
Thank
for coming
you
to the
for
hot
having
seat.
me.
I'm glad that you got to sit here. I hope we didn't burn you.
No,
but it was
no.
an absolute honor. Thank you
I'm
for
glad
bringing
I got
awareness.
to meet you finally
Yes.
too, Priscilla. It's very nice to meet you.
She's bringing awareness to the burlesque community along with integrating everybody along with the LGBTQ community and just really reaching out to the locals at an amazing place. Oddfellows is run by amazing people, amazing business owners. It's a great place. I advertise it to everyone, so it's even better that that's the place that you're going to have this amazing show. So Lily Star,
Cool.
everyone, make sure to stay tuned after the break to see her amazingness perform and be entertaining.
Well, we'll try.
Social Media Shows is a production company based here in Las Vegas, Nevada. We offer these services. We've been streaming shows live in real time for over 4 years on major social media platforms and also on our website socialmediashows.com. And we are now on Roku TV. and we welcome you to have your own show on our TV network. Call us 651-955-8743 or email us at admin@socialmediashows.com.
Hello, everyone. This is Joseph Skoda with Social Media Shows. Well, I thank all of you for your support through these last several years, and it's been a lot of fun. We've given people a voice they never had before. Now, Social Media Shows is always collaborating with our veterans to help them do things and help out the veterans who are struggling today. And we teamed up with GI Connections, connecting veterans with resources. So please consider helping and donating to this great cause because we're always doing things for veterans. So GI Connections, Social Media Shows, and you is what makes the world a better place. Once again, Joseph Skoda, proud United States Air Force veteran.
To come see her new show at Oddfellows on March 22nd called Queer AF. And after the break, we are going to give a little shout out to some amazing things that are happening over here at Social Media Shows, along with my always amazing thank you. So please stay tuned. Don't go anywhere yet.